Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. And in today's episode, we are going to be building a tree farm, which is what I wanted to do last episode, but we didn't quite get to it. So I think I've got pretty much everything I need to actually do this thing, but there's a couple minor things we need to craft up first. First of all, I need to make 2 of these copper upgrades. There we go. That's done. And then I also want to go ahead and make a reinforced cache, which is going to hold 160,000 of whatever I want to put in it. I'm going to use it for wood. I'm almost tempted. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to. I wasn't originally going to do this, but I think I'm actually going to split the farm up and do part of it as spruce wood as well, and then I'll make another one of those caches. Let's do that. Let's see here. So we're going to grab a log, and like so, there we go. Then we'll grab 4 Invar ingots, and do that. And then in here, I'll grab 4 of this hardened glass, and do that. There we go. So that should be everything I need, because in this one, I've got everything else. I think that's everything. I'm probably missing something, but whatever. It's fine. Oh, I've got I have the energy cell too. Okay, I think we have everything. So, I want to set this up kind of away from the main base. I need a large, or a relatively large at least, flat area to do this. And I think the obvious choice is kind of just right over here. This should work fine. It should allow us to do what we need to do. So I'm going to kind of clear this out and flatten it a little bit, guys, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got kind of a big area flattened out here. I think this will do the trick quite nicely. And I think we're going to put our tree farm right here. So the first thing that I want to put down is the planter. And we're going to put that down there. This is going to essentially plant trees, or saplings, I should say, on this level over here. So let's go ahead and let's actually fill that up right away with all the saplings that we have. And we'll go like that. And then I do want to kind of filter this a little bit. So we're going to say on that half we'll do oak, and on this half we'll do spruce. And I think that should work out pretty well. Okay, so there's that. And we'll say consume stack off, just so there's always at least one sapling in there of some sort. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these upgrades and drop that in there. That will increase the radius, so instead of just being a little 3x3 area, it will end up being a 5 instead of being a little 3x3, it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11x11 area, which is obviously a much, much larger area to work with. So that's all good. Now, I would need to run some conduits around this thing. So I'm just going to take this area all around the planter and kind of hollow it out. Okay? Now, our base is over there, so we'll go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be the edge of where the area is. So let's just kind of do something like that. I think that should be fine, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on this one is where we're going to want to put our harvester. And I'm going to have to rotate that thing, which is fine. I did make myself a crescent hammer. So let's just rotate that so it's facing... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm actually wrong by 1. Let's try that again. We're going to put that right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait. Yeah. Okay, because this is Okay, I'm confusing myself because of this hole. Okay, so it should grow trees in this area going out, and then the planter will be right here. Okay, cool. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put down an output chest for the harvester. So we'll just put that right there, and that way anything that this thing harvests will be put into this chest, which is good. Okay, now the next thing is I need to run some conduits so that we can make this all work properly, because there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to use thermal expansion, is it thermal expansion? Thermal dynamics. It used to be part of thermal expansion. I'm going to use thermal expansion stuff because it's Ender IO stuff is better, but it's also way, way, way more expensive. And honestly, I just can't afford Ender IO stuff at the moment. So these will have to do. Now, we're going to take a reinforced servo, which will basically extract stuff, and drop it right there, so that when things output from this harvester and into this chest, it will take certain items and run them right back into the planter, because I want this farm to be essentially self-sufficient except for power. And I'm going to grab an oak and a spruce sapling, because that's all that I actually want to come out of this chest. I was just thinking about this. Actually, we're going to change this up. We're going to change this up a little bit. I changed my mind. So let's actually do this instead. Let's put the chest here. Here. Yeah. Let's put the chest right there. And then what we'll do is we'll run the item ducts out like this, because I want the wood to go into the caches. Or the cache. I keep saying caches. It's just a habit. It's one of those things where you learned a word one way and then you found out it was something totally different. And now I sometimes say cache. But anyway, so we've got that there. That's all good. And then from down here, this is right below, right? Yeah. Right here is where we'll run the conduits from. And actually, just to kind of open up some space, let's actually do this. Let's run them like right here. Actually, you know what I should do? Is I should just grab my excavator. Oh, but if I do that, I'm going to tear up way more than I want to. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. This is fine. This is fine. We can live with this. And get rid of that. And that. And then this should be right under the chest, right? Yes, good. Okay, so we'll put that here. We'll grab one of these servos and put it right there. And then we want this to be a white list with oak and spruce in it. And we want it to ignored, and everything else with that should be good to go. Then we'll take these item ducts and run them like so. So basically anytime spruce or oak saplings end up in here, as long as there's room in this planter, it's going to yank them out and send them over here to be replanted, which is exactly what we want. That's good. Okay. Now, the next thing is I need to run some power. So let's go ahead and we'll say like right underneath this, I think, is probably the best spot. We'll hook up some... Ooh, I also need an output for fluids from this thing, though, too. I'd really like to disguise all this stuff, though. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's okay. Okay, so let's see here. Hardened Flux ducts. We'll just grab those. And I'll run them like that. And then we'll say right down here is where we're going to run the fluid ducts for the sludge that this thing is going to inevitably fill up with. So I'll bring them down like so. That should work. Okay, now, let's see. So this area is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to over here. So the closest place that I could put down a sludge boiler would be like right here. And I think I can do that. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll say... Oh, I'm tearing up things I don't want to be tearing up right now. This will work, right? Yeah, we need to come down one more. And now I can take this out, and we're set. Okay, so... temperate fluid ducts go like that, so that'll feed into the sludge boiler. And then we'll take the... Oh, I don't have a way out. I just realized that. That's okay. We'll make one. It'll be fine. And let's actually take a nap real quick. Get some sleep going. There we go. I'm going to put a torch down here just because I want to kind of keep this area mob-free if I can. You, go away. Torch, go there, and there. And that should keep everything pretty much spawn-proof, I think. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so we're making progress. We're actually really close to having this thing up and running. So we'll do that. Then I'll fill that stuff in with dirt. So we got our sludge boiler over here. These will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the edge of the tree farm. The planter goes here, so really, all we have left to do is hook up our power supply to some sort of power, and that's basically it. Where do I want to put that? Let's say like right under here. We'll say right here is where we're going to put our power unit thing. And everything else, at least in theory, should work. Just as is right now. Oh, except for one more thing. I also need to run to over here. Actually, I want to run that a little farther, I think. Yeah, I don't want that right there. I want that to be farther away, because the sludge boiler, when it's in use, it does bad things involving like toxin and poison and things like that, and I don't want to be near it. So we'll put it... I'm almost tempted to move this over a little bit more. It's not like I don't have the item conduits to do it. Yeah, let's actually move this over just a little bit more. So we'll go... I'll grab that stuff. I think we'll ultimately put it like over here. That should be good, right? I think that should be fine. Let's see. So right there is where it is. Oh, hello, random cave. Torch, go down there. And I'll put a torch here and there as well. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and fill this in. I know there's a cave-like thing right here, but it's fine. So, fluid ducts go like so for our sludge transport. And then we'll take the power up like that, which should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and fill all of that stuff back in. And actually, you know what? This cave is pretty much useless as well, so I'm just going to do that. I think that's fine. Just like so. Yeah. Okay. So, power here. These will both be the caches, and then all I need to do yet is run an item duct. Like here? I think. right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll dig a little space out going this way. Let's see where we're at. How we doing? Oh, nailed it. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's exactly where I wanted it to be. Awesome. So, take the item ducts, run them down, and over here like so, and then up. And I just trapped myself, which was totally not intentional. Try that again. There we go. And then once again, I just need to fill all that in. And there we go. So that should do the trick now. And I think at this point, all I really need to do is add power to it. So let's grab, oh, and I need to put the copper upgrade in there. So let's go ahead and drop that on there. Looks like that's all working as intended. I want the output to be down. And that all looks good. And now we basically just need to wait for it to grow. And everything should be good to go. We'll put, for now, I think I actually want to kind of leave that alone. Let's put those in there, make sure that those get taken out properly, and they do. So I think everything should be working. Let's double check the harvester here just to make sure. Yep, that's doing its thing, as it should. This is not really draining in power right now because it's not doing anything. I'm waiting on things to grow before it'll do anything. But I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab a little bit of spruce wood and a little bit of oak wood just to drop into those caches. Because I don't want those to fill up with, you know, other random junk. Like, for example, apples, saplings, whatever, stuff like that. I don't want that stuff in the thingy-mabob. So, okay, I think we're good. Let's just head on over. Oh, wow, we already have trees that grew. That was surprisingly quick. That was surprisingly quick. Holy cats. Okay, awesome. I'm certainly not complaining. Oh, you go in there. I need you. And you go there, and like so, and then we'll shift right-click each of those to lock it. And then we can drop those in, and I think we're good. At this point, all the wood should go into here, and basically the only thing we'll need to do is swap out this hardened energy cell every so often when it runs out of power, which unfortunately is going to happen sooner than I'd like. But when it runs out of power, I'll have to swap that out, and then it'll, get back to doing things. Also, you can see the items coming out of the sludge boiler. Those will end up over here and give us random stuff, clay, peat, whatever. But all in all, it is working beautifully, and that is going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.